The party can start. My name is Jen Yamato. I'm a reporter at the LA Times. Thank you so much for being with us here today at the Chase Sapphire. Shout out Chase Sapphire on Main. Yes. Credit cards are good. I don't know. You know. Thank you for this lovely space, in the very least, Chase Sapphire. We are here today with a very special panel with the director and cast of Paradise Hills. Woo! Woo! Alice Waddington, director, fresh up, just joined us, managed to get through customs from Spain.
Yes, yes.
Seated to her left is Milla Jovovich.
Oh, you got it right. Oh, you're so sweet. She was practicing.
When your name is Jen Yamato, you listen very carefully to how people pronounce their names. Eiza González.
Yeah, made it over the border.
Woo! Danielle MacDonald.
B and J.
Emma Roberts. And Miss Awkwafina Norlam, who just also opened an amazing film last night here at Sundance called The Farewell.
Yeah, where was our audience earlier? No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you all for being here. This is a really fun film, and it's such a great opportunity to be able to talk to all of you women here. 6 women on my stage. I'm so excited. Paradise Hills, I don't know how many of you out there have seen or heard something about Paradise Hills. Oh. Ooh. Oh.
Here we are.
You are in for such a fun ride. It is one of the most visually stunning films you're going to see at the Sundance. And the themes underneath it are even more powerful. And so I'm really excited to talk to you all about this. Wait, Alice, did you finish your story about getting here today?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was
And then
the
she
end.
arrived.
Then she arrived. There she's here. So thank
honestly,
you. Yes.
so sorry.
So
That
sorry.
was
My bad.
shocking. Walking in here.
Apologies.
Alice, please set us up with what Paradise Hills is about.
Sure. So Paradise Hills is an institution in the middle of the ocean to which families from all over the world send their rebellious daughters to get reformed. And they have a variety of...
interested. A mom with daughter was so interested. She's like, oh, can I get
I
the
have a daughter to
address?
send to Paradise Hills. Yeah.
She's like, my daughter's right here. She can take her.
So some of them don't want to get married to like a person they were assigned. Others have a body image that doesn't align with what their entourage thinks is correct for them. Others, have a sexuality that's not conventional, and so on and so on. They're all considered broken women.
Yeah, what about me, huh?
Social anxiety.
And there's also Awkwafina
And then
is
there's
in
Awkwafina.
I'm not flawed at all.
like
actually.
And then there's awkward
whole
Fina.
thing. That's like a
Awkward Fina.
whole
Awkward
thing
Fina.
right there.
Yes.
And Mila's character, the Duchess.
Yes, I play the Duchess. I am the owner of this island paradise in the middle of the ocean, and I take these pathetic little girls and I whip them into shape.
She
Fun.
tries.
But it's got this really great surreal quality to it, in addition to have just these stunning visuals, stunning production design, and really interesting costumes that are kind of, in my mind, tell me what other influences went into this, but the costumes that you guys get to wear, and which really bring these characters and their journeys out, are kind of like Alice Through the Looking Glass meets Joan of Arc. I don't know. That's what I got from it.
Oh,
It's
that's
like a
tight.
straitjacket vibe. That's kind of what I was
Straitjacket,
thinking. It's like
yeah.
we're constricted the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very big corset vibe, and in the morning you just see all of us like getting put into our corsets.
And
it
every
got us
morning-
into character.
Yeah, every morning I would get my corset done. I'd reenact that scene from Titanic where she's like, "Do you want me to sell all of the things on auction?" You know what I mean?
And they didn't
It went over their heads, but I thought it was funny. I thought it was very funny.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Eiza. Thank you.
Well, Alice, you've described this project as, quote, my own personal exorcism.
Oh.
Which is a really intriguing...
Like, did I really?
That's a really intriguing exorcism of various... I don't know. Maybe you can speak to that. But what was swirling in your life, in your experiences, in your mind, and what you wanted to say as a filmmaker at the time?
I think what I meant with that statement is just that I made this film for my 14-year-old self. Like, the self that got like picked on at school, that the self that liked fantasy literature, the self that loved video games, that loved tabletop gaming, and I just want to do her justice and do her proud. So that's my exorcism.
And Emma, we see this journey largely through the eyes of your character, Emma.
Yes.
But how would you describe where we find her in the beginning? And without, obviously, we don't want to spoil the film for anybody who will who is already going to see it. But so you won't hear any spoilers here. I'm sorry, not sorry. But tell us where we find Uma at the beginning of Paradise Hills.
Well, we find I won't say at the beginning of the film because there's some tricks, but the beginning of my character's journey, I mean, she starts out as kind of, a normal young woman, except for the fact that she's being put into an arranged marriage, basically, by her family, and she says, like, I don't want to marry this guy, I want to marry for love, and I'm not in love with him. And because of this, she gets sent away. And so you really see her, she's very confused and upset when you meet her because she has no idea why something as silly as not wanting to marry someone you don't love got her sent to this weird place. And you just really see her kind of find herself and find her friends and, become stronger for sure. It was a really, really fun journey to play.
And Danielle, Eiza, Awkwafina, your characters are these women who are already there at this sort of reform school for society's perfect, I don't know,
Rejects, yeah.
Sure. And they're already there dealing with their own issues. Could you each speak a little bit to your characters and what it is that has landed them in this predicament to begin with?
Well, in my situation, I play Amarna, and she's this woman who has lived her life in the public eye, and she's been a singer. And for me, I really felt compelled with the story because I started really young back home, and growing up in the industry can be really hard. And growing up is hard, period. And you are kind of defining yourself. And so the reason why she gets sent here is because she's looking for who she is, and she has all these questions. Am I gay? Am I singing to who I am? Am I connecting with people? And she discovers in this place other women who feel the same way in their different shapes or forms of anxiety, and they all unite in that place. And funny enough, against what the parents are looking for, them changing, they feel so comfortable being with themselves, and they find other people and other women who feel that way. So the way that Uma, Chloe, and Amarna connect is quite beautiful and a positive message for the world out there, especially because we're sending very harsh standards for women and for people in general. So as she said, as a 14-year-old self watching this is something we need. It could be okay to be yourself.
It was super important to me, just to add on to what she just said beautifully, that the women in this story were not competing amongst each other, and that if there were women competing with each other, that was the villain of the story, and that was the negative aspect of the story.
And Danielle, take us through your character.
I play Chloe, who is a girl from the South in America. Her family wants her to be a pretty little pageant queen like her sisters, and I'm not that, and she's not that, and she owns who she is. She's comfortable with who she is, so she kind of sees Paradise Hills as like a vacation. She's like, it looks really pretty. It's like a nice little spa, guys. Let's have fun. Yes. So yeah, exactly. So Chloe's kind of like the eternal optimist in a way, and she was fun to play, and it was really exciting because everyone connects. Like all these girls connect. They're from very different backgrounds, have very different issues, and they like lift each other up and support each other, and that was really cool for me to see in a film.
And who is you, Awkwafina?
I don't know. Who is you? You is a girl who's kind of plagued by various social anxieties. She carries a lot of anger. She uses music as very like untraditional safety net. So it's her therapy. It's where she feels safe, and I thinking about it, I do think that she feels a certain like. She'll never be enough for her family, and I think that the familial want to be enough weighs on her and makes her very angry. And I think that very elemental to their bond is that they all feel like they've been thrown away in some way, and it's through those feelings that they do connect with each other, and and I think that they do want to love each other. They don't want to feel flawed. They want to be fixed, and so they're kind of submitting to this experience, but they don't know really what's behind the experience. So
secrets and twists.
Secrets.
Guys, I watched this film. I had the pleasure of seeing it, and I have so many questions about the experience of shooting this together in Spain in this incredible location
in
that
Barcelona too.
It's like, how would you describe it?
Alcohol.
I love
jamón.
I love jamón.
Jamón and pan tomate.
Sorry, I have to get one of these.
Oh yeah.
She's thirsty.
Get this girl some water.
I'm in late. I need water. I'm sorry.
But
Before we get into this part of the.
How would you first, Alice, describe this place and describe the location that you had in your mind, and then how you even went about finding. It's kind of like a paradise. Oh, Paradise Hills. It's like the most idyllic, beautiful island getaway that is at once like a luxury spa / fairy tale prison, and it's a place that like feels like it doesn't exist in the real world, right? So what was your vision for the place that would become this environment that these young women find themselves in?
Sure. I think that you describe it really well. The only thing that I would add is that I saw it as a... You know how in 1970s Gothic novels for women, the location is another protagonist of the story, and the protagonists are drawn to it like this sort of magnetic field that kind of is also part of their downfall ultimately in the narrative. So that was sort of the way that I view it, like emotionally. Visually, it's just like a brutalist mega compound atop of a beauty. I don't know how to say this in Spanish, but on a beautiful tropical island that again is like in Blue Velvet, right? By day everything is idyllic and wonderful and perfect, and by night everything is rotten.
Damn! All right, Alice. Yeah.
Coming
Dun, dun.
So, ladies,
The Blue
what was
Velvet
this
drop.
actual place like? You fly to Barcelona to begin prepping for the film. How would you describe the set?
Well, it was actually somebody's home.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
that
a
place was incredible.
architect, a
He was
very
an
famous
architect.
architect.
He was an
That
architect,
obviously
yeah.
hates children.
He developed a cave
That's what
system.
I got out of it because
He developed a
Alice
cave
knows a lot.
Alice. So he developed He developed a cave system, and he was like this famous like structural. I remember I talked to his wife for a while. He had scary
she's
dogs.
sweet.
Yeah.
It was super
Yeah, yeah.
fascinating.
Real people live here?
The place.
Someone did live
it's
there.
like completely concrete, and then there's no banisters. So
It
there's,
was like no other
stairways
set
that
I've
would
ever
just
been
fall
to.
down
Yeah.
into the concrete. So it was like,
But we also went everywhere. Like
Never
we
bring my
would
kids.
drive
There are a
out
lot
of
of
town.
locations.
Yeah, we went to a beach.
Oh my God, the
we went to
baths.
We were
like a
inside
Remember the
of a
baths?
cave. How about
Yeah.
we were inside the side of a
cave.
mountain?
Yeah, you and I that day.
I was in a mountain.
We filmed in a cave, and it
Yeah.
was crazy. I mean,
It was a wild ride.
I think
basically.
it would
we
really-
got on a
location.
It
And
what
then-
really
and then we-
happened is like at the end of the day, it was weird for us as a cast because if you walk into a beautiful set, it sort of immediately makes you happy, but we're not
Yeah.
supposed to be happy. And then it was like, it really kind of reflected the film
Yeah.
because it was a juxtaposition in the sense of we are in this beautiful garden and we're so excited, but at the same time we're sort
Something
of like
sinister.
there's something dark about it, and our wardrobe was so restraining, and we couldn't breathe. You couldn't sit, so you were tired.
Okay.
And it was. Wait, tell the truth.
And,
you know,
it was also
Tell the truth, girl.
it was hard, but you know what? Sometimes those sorts of situations help you to make a better film because you really understand what's behind being. I mean, it's crazy to compare it, but like in jail, like captive, like being controlled, being in this place in the middle of nowhere. And as an actor, you spend a lot of time alone too. So you travel around the world and you're in different places, and it's beautiful. but it's hard because you don't have a lot to share it with. Sometimes you have sporadically people come visit you. And so...
But we all hung out a lot. I feel
Yeah,
like
I'm
it was
sad
No,
now. I'm
but
sad
you know
now,
what I
Eiza.
mean. You know what I mean. Like, in that
Totally.
sense,
It's
it's
an
cool
isolating.
to...
It's very isolating.
The contrast of it all. It's like beautiful, but hard, but beautiful, but hard, you know?
No, I agree. And
I hated you guys.
I think
Stop it.
I think that she's right, and also I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. Listen, I think it's really cool that the characters sort of are in this beautiful environment, yet they suspect that something is going on. Yeah. That is part of how the story is a little bit unconventional and how we're treating those beautiful sets, for example.
So let's.
Did we answer your question?
Yes, I mean I have lots of them. Like for example,
notes.
how did you bond when you first met each other? You know, this is a really interesting group to develop.
What happened when we
dynamic.
first met each other?
We can cut
Oh,
out
yeah.
some parts of it.
Oh
and
yeah,
people.
we told some crazy stories at dinner. Okay, Eiza.
We went to the casino.
Every
We went to a
went to the
casino. We
casino.
played blackjack.
Guys, one by one.
We had a lot of experiences, clearly.
Yeah.
We played blackjack at the casino.
We played
That was fun.
blackjack. Emma actually has great blackjack luck.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
She's got skills.
Thank you.
Great skills.
But we
something
made-
I brag about is my
Yes.
blackjack skills.
Emma
Yes.
is also very good at finding good food places. So
Yes.
she would book
Yes,
us a
you did.
reservation
You found
every
some
Saturday
amazing
night
stuff.
for food, and then we would go to the casino after.
Yeah.
It was like ritual because we were. there
We
for
weren't
2
like
months.
we weren't like degenerates though. We were like they're
It was
making it seem like
chic.
we went to the
It
casino.
was very chic.
I don't know if it was a chic casino. I don't know about that. But it was a chic. We were chicly going to a casino. Yes.
going to casino.
No,
We
we
had
ate
a
a
lot
lot
of
of good
tapas.
food.
Tapa-
We ate a
oh,
lot of good
Barcelona. I went to Gucci.
food. I
Oh
went
my
to-
God.
We went to
My life in
Gucci,
Gucci.
every other day.
I went to
Drag-
Gucci.
Guys.
I wouldn't even buy things at Gucci. I would just go and be like, oh my God, we're in
Hi.
Gucci. Hi.
No, but one of the things that I thought was so fun about filming this movie was, first of all of us, we really had no idea kind of what it was going to be like. I mean, we got on a plane, 2 planes, to get to Barcelona, and we were there for 8 weeks, and it really was an amazing experience in a sense of like, when you're filming a movie or a show and you're home, like where you live, you know, you go to work and it's work, and you go home and you have your life. And here we were thrown together, not only in another place, but in a foreign place. Eiza was our translator because none of us spoke Spanish, so
Genuinely
we'd
every
be
day.
like, "Tell
I was
them
like,
this,
"Eiza,
tell them
Eiza."
this, ask
Oh
for
my
this,
God,
ask
Eiza
for
was
this."
so good at translating.
Yeah, so
She would yell at people for us too.
Yeah,
Yes.
They were like, Eiza, don't yell, just be nice.
She's
be
like,
nice
"Yeah,
I
about
remember
it.
when you tried to kick the paparazzi out of the toilets. Remember at that
Oh,
restaurant?
yes.
There were paparazzi in the toilets.
Where was that?
Oh my God. Guys, I told you we could avoid a couple of parts of this story.
Okay, well,
Strong
anyways,
women,
It
you
got
know?
rowdy. It got rowdy.
Definitely strong.
But
women.
it's nice because it's rare that you get, and they're not gonna say it, but it's true. Like it's rare that you get
are we gonna
a
say?
cast that you get along with.
Yes.
Like it's rare. Like especially it's hard. You put all these.
I've gotten along with
women,
every
and
single
they're all
cast
getting
I've ever worked with.
traitor.
too.
She's a traitor. Look at
Liar.
her, selling us out.
lies. But you gotta, I mean, guys, if you're a woman or if you're married to a woman or you have some mom and you've been them around their periods and, you know, you have all these hormonal changes.
Eiza.
Truly, it's true. You have all these hormones left and right, left and right,
I
left
don't.
and right. And we're all going through crazy
Yeah.
moments of our lives.
You know,
and, like,
I
it's tricky.
think Eiza still is going through
I
it.
am
Yeah.
still going through it. And you're going through moments and you bond and it's nice because like
was
there's
really
days that
nice.
you want to cry and
Are
I
you
wanted to
kidding? When
cry,
I
and call
left, I was
Mila.
texting you guys all the time. We were
were.
all
We were so happy when
So
you got
Paradise
there.
Hills turned out to be not so terrible. It turned out to be
But you know,
pretty
to
amazing.
answer your question and bring it back to the movie, we're 4 girls in real life. You know, we're all actresses. We're all going through the same stuff, and we really bonded through that. You know, we had these are my colleagues, right? Like, so we got and well, and then we. Like, you know, to the movie, like there was a similar also relationship going on, so it kind of mirrored what we were going through. It really was a bonding, and I love it. Eiza, crazy Eiza. I love
Eiza,
crazy.
we love you.
I love Eiza. She's
We really
hilarious.
love you.
She makes me laugh, dude.
Loca.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mexicana loca.
If there's ever a problem, call Eiza.
Call Eiza. She's a
I'm
fixer.
very effective. Yeah.
She's a fixer.
It's nice to have a reflection of what's happening in society. You know, I think that we are all scared. We and that's something that I feel as a society we're always kind of embedded in our brain. It's you shouldn't talk about your problems. It's like short conversations every day. How are you? I'm doing great. Good. And you? It's been amazing. Everyone's trying to put out this facade.
You're not
and you
listening
have
to
it.
me.
You have it. You have it in your family. You have it in society. You have it with your partner. It's so hard for us to open ourselves. It's becoming harder and harder because this ideal message is being sent of perfection, 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 24/7, social media, interviews, magazines, and like for women to be able to put that on film. Alice to create this for us is a gift for actresses, is a gift for society. And whether you like the film or not, it's a movie that has a purpose. It has a purpose to show it's okay to be yourself, accept yourself, be lost, find your way, no matter what age you are, no matter where you come from. We're all diverse women. All women. The men in the film were okay to take a step back and be like, we're going to help you succeed. Jeremy did incredibly by doing that.
Yeah, it was us and Jeremy
And
Irvine.
Jeremy Irvine.
We love you, Jeremy.
We drag him to the
On
casino.
screens. Yeah, he would drive us to the casino.
We would drag him to the casino.
But it's
It was
exciting.
one of
I
the
mean,
girls.
but for such a visually spectacular film that is so unique and so different from anything I think you guys are going to see this year at Sundance, it's so relatable.
Yeah.
You know, and I think
Yeah.
that's what's amazing is that you were able to take a storyline that is very unconventional and very different and touches so much on the vulnerabilities that young girls are going through today that they can all relate and understand, you know, but through this vehicle that's just so extraordinary, you know, it's just a fun ride.
Thank you so much.
Alice, tell us a little bit about like. Aw. Alice, I want to
Don't worry, I'm not
ask you.
crying. Don't worry.
Don't cry, please.
I want to ask you a little bit about the developing this story, and you have co-screenwriters in the great Nacho Vigalondo of Time Crimes, Colossal,
Time Crimes. Anybody? No, nobody. Okay.
Colossal, so good, guys.
and
You gotta watch it.
Brian Deliu.
Yes.
And despite being men, they seem to be doing a pretty good job at putting
Womaning.
centering these female stories, which not all men are able to do. You don't need to respond to that. I just want to say that.
No, I just want to. The only thing I would add to that is that I wrote the original treatment with Sofia Cuenca, who's another lady like me. I identify as a woman, just in case you were curious. I don't know. And apart from that, Nacho I've known for 6 years now. He knows me really, really, really well. So he kind of gave us free reign to get into the story and be like, hey, this female experience that you're describing here is not my idea of this experience. Why don't you consider changing it to this or to that? And he would always be open to new ideas and be a really great collaborator overall. So he's great.
Well, in the beginning, what kind of references did you share with your cast to give them an idea of the tone that you're going for and sort of even the cultural references to have in mind that you're all bringing into the story?
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
What were some of the references, artistic references?
Oh, visual.
Yeah,
Sure. That you showed us.
There
Yeah.
were
Or
a
you
lot.
wanted to.
Alice was so thorough. Like, I got a full package of things about, like, Chloe's history and visuals of what the film was
Same,
going to look
same.
like.
What
It was
he
incredible.
what she picked
Yes.
from, it was
It
quite
was
impressive.
It's true.
incredible.
I did write a backstory for each and every one of the characters.
Which a lot of characters need sometimes, and they never have. They never understand where they come from, what influenced them. You provided all that. So.
Well, some actors and actresses like to do that themselves, but
You did our work for us.
I just I kind of tried, making a proposal and see how they would react to it. But yeah, it's true. I gave them references of like what their family was like, what their secrets were, what they thought they were presenting themselves as towards the world. All of those, that mix of truths and lies that makes up the personality of every human being, basically, trying to make them as relatable and real as possible. And they also took up the challenge, so I'm so happy about that. But visually, I'm sorry, which was the other question, right?
No. There are so many, like it's at once, simultaneous, it's Gothic, futuristic. You see bits of like Japanese manga and Gothic Lolita and Picnic at Hanging Rock. And, there's so many things that you can pick up on in this.
Sure. Yeah, no, and, when we started the production design process with our wonderful production designer, Laia Colette, she and I decided not to put any limits onto ourselves. We decided that if we like certain elements from, for example, 1970s European kitsch, such as Abominable Dr. Fives, we were going to take them and mold them towards the story. If we like The Prisoner and the way that the town of Port Miriam there is represented, we were going to use that as well to our advantage. But also, again, we were going to use trends from the present, as you very well said, with the Japanese comics influence. I love manga. I grew up with manga. I was a very big fan, again, as I was saying earlier on, when I was 12 to 14 years old. And I just grew up on stories of kick-ass animated women time traveling, reuniting with their friends to fight the baddies. Even just like a classic like Evangelion has got one of the strongest female characters in popular culture.
That's a throwback.
I used to watch that.
Evangelia.
Asuka, y'all.
How do you say it? How do you say it? I used to read that. Evangelion. Is that how you say it? Okay. All right. Evangelion. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm done. All right. Okay.
I'm saying it in Spanish.
Sure, okay.
Anyway, so I was just used to that in in Japanese storytelling, and I remember like coming to European comic books and being like, oh, this is not what I expected them to be, and I just wanted to be able to create that narrative, and I just wanted to be able to inspire young girls in the same way that I felt inspired by all of those stories, such as the Clam Collective, Time Stranger Kyoko, and a lot of Japanese manga. So yeah, it was beyond aesthetics. It was part of the narrative too.
And we're in a split second. We're going to open it up to a couple of audience questions. So if you have one, get your hand up and get your questions ready. In the meantime, I have to note that on this panel, there are quite a few musicians and singers. In the film, just to tease it, there is some singing, some very beautiful singing that characters perform that have a lot to do with what this film is about. But were there any karaoke nights or singing going on in this offset? And why not?
No,
They were at the casino.
I think we established we spent most of our time destroying
At the
ourselves in a
casino.
casino.
Okay, well, I'm playing
No.
video games and Nora's a puppet.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did
video
that. I
games.
bought a
Video
PS4.
games.
Video
What
games.
video games?
I bought a PS4 because I couldn't be away from Guitar Hero any longer.
We would
And
play video games.
they have Amazon Prime in Barcelona. I primed myself a guitar. I packed it up. I brought it back. And we played Jeopardy. I played Jeopardy. we played Fortnite.
Jeopardy.
Yeah, we
Fortnite
would
with
play a lot of
Jeremy.
video games.
You guys played Fortnite?
Yeah.
played
Jeremy
Fortnite
was
with Jeremy.
obsessed with Fortnite.
Yeah, he's a boy. Yeah, obviously.
It's a boy.
Oh wow, gender roles, man.
Yeah. Well,
He's ready
We
to
have a
go.
question right in the middle.
Oh,
Please say it
yeah.
loudly and we'll repeat it for everybody.
Oh,
Oh,
there
never
you
mind.
go.
You
Look
got
at
a
this.
microphone.
Okay, that's cooler. First of all, this is such a dope cast right here. I mean, I just love how eclectic it is, just how cool it is. I had to put on the Baby Driver jacket because I had to do it.
Awesome.
So, I mean, on that note, the cast. I mean, talk about like the casting process and like getting all these awesome actresses together. And if you thought about how eclectic it would be to get all these women together to make this movie, and yeah. that's all
Funny
I
enough,
got.
you and I met at the premiere of Baby Driver.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
true.
in
met,
Spain.
Yeah, we actually met through Edgar Wright. It's true. Yeah, that was the way that I first met. Your mother was there as well. I remember her mom is amazing. She tells all of the gossip when she was a baby and all of that. It's so embarrassing.
Everywhere we go, she does
Everywhere.
that.
Your
It's
mom's
amazing.
cute. Yeah,
She's like, I love her when she was shaved, and I'm like,
She
Mom,
shows you
please.
pictures.
She's
It's
funny.
great. It's great. So that's how I met Eiza. And the rest of these amazing ladies, I mean, they are the best cast that I could probably ever have had. And they are my dream cast, each and every one of them. There is no way I can explain how the casting process was, in the sense that basically the first options almost that we went to for every role were the ones that wanted to do it. And I don't know, that just made me so happy. I don't know, what was the second part of the question?
Well,
All right.
I'll add on to
That's
from
the
that,
answer.
though. This is such a diverse story and a diverse world. Why is that important to you?
I mean, I just think it just makes sense for culture to reflect the world we live in. I think that's pretty much it. I want to see myself and my friends represented in the stories that I tell.
Yep, that's exactly what
It just should be as simple as that. Like, funny enough.
I'm gonna get that
like,
tattooed on my
It's just the world we
forehead.
live in, right? Like, at the end of the day.
Just to remind myself.
We're going for tattoos after this.
Like, look at this room. Like, it's all diverse, isn't it funny? It's like crazy.
Guys, does it create a different or special like new energy to be on a set with so many women?
Well, you're learning
a
from
good
so
energy.
many people. You know, you have an
It's amazing.
Australian, like
Amazing.
you have a Spanish, like it's crazy.
I mean, talking about the casting process, you know, one of the things that attracted me to the script, you know, is number one, you have a female director. You know, not enough women are given the opportunity. And, you know, obviously we've been going through this Me Too movement and, you know, giving women a voice, allowing them to get support from their peers, from their industry. But, you know, I think it's opened the doors for more women to make female-driven stories, which is so important and so refreshing, you know, to be with so many strong, amazing women. And I'm sure you were tearing your hair out quite a few times, like, but which is normal. You're a director, but like, wow, every single woman on the stage, including Alice, are all just unique and special and just
Without mentioning the
unbelievable, right?
fact that every single actress that you've seen here, she just did a movie with Susan Bier. She just did the farewell with a woman. Like, we've all worked with women. Like, and the fact that up and coming talent is supporting, like, this is a new generation and it's important, it's timely, and it's like,
and hopefully in the future it won't be like, yeah, I worked with that one woman.
yeah,
Like, and it's just like,
I
it'll
worked with a
become
woman
normal.
once.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice.
that's the thing that really sucks, is that you kind of look for these roles. And I mean, I love to play strong women, but knowing that this script came from a woman with a real vision that had a real story to tell, I mean, was so attractive too. So I think I kind of speak for everybody when we were all attracted to this because of that as well, right?
One last chance for questions from the audience. Oh, right here in the back. Yes, please.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I came with a high school group of about 14 students, and out of all 14 of us, about 12 of us are young women. And we're all interested in joining the film industry because most of us are high school seniors and juniors. So I'm wondering, what advice would you give to young women who are interested in being like writers, directors, and actresses in the film industry? Because I hear lots of things, but they're usually like said by men or like meant for like young boys who are interested in going into the industry, and you guys are all so inspiring. Like, you're all so amazing. Like, this is so cool.
Thank you.
That's a great question, too.
Angel.
Get up here. Give us a hug.
Yeah, I know. We're like, where are you guys? Come over here.
This is a good question. Let's answer.
It's a really good question. I mean, I would say, always never be scared to be personal. I think whether you're writing, directing, acting, like, always be prepared to make it personal and, you know, tell your story. And because I feel like sometimes I've done things where I'm like, okay, this is how I should do this, or like I should do this because this is what people want me to do. And the times where I've been like, this is a story that I want to tell for me, or this is a wound that I have that I think maybe other people
Come right
have.
in.
Hi.
Yeah, we're gonna take a picture with her.
I was like talking to you, and then you were here. What's up?
We need all 12 others out here.
But you're gonna have to listen while
Wait,
you're sitting up here now.
What's your
She
name,
got
by the
it.
way?
What's your name?
My name's Grace.
That's my sister's name.
Badass that you came all the way here.
I'm from Detroit.
Detroit? Yeah. Detroit. He's from Detroit just wearing it.
But that was such a great question, Grace.
Yeah.
Any last
It's,
thought?
oh, sorry,
You know,
beautiful.
I feel like one of the most important elements for me, you know, when I'm on set or when I look around, I mean, you know, sets are a lot like the military in a sense. Everybody's got their role, and every department has a head of that department, and everybody has to work together as a team. You know, so obviously, like, working well with people is important, and being open to people and being open to compromise, okay? But at the same time, you know, like what Emma was saying, like being yourself and like making sure that whatever, if you're gonna be a writer, you gotta write that story that resonates with you, because that's, no matter how like crazy you think it is, and you're like, no one's gonna relate to this, if you're honest, you will always find an audience.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't talk about, and it's nice to what she said. It's personable, but fear is something that happens every day. You know, no matter what level of actress you are, every time we get together with bigger actresses, directors, fear is consistent. You know, there's always this fear of, I'm not going to be good enough. This is not going to be right. I'm doubting myself. Am I going to do this? Is
you're going to
the
be
next
embarrassed.
step?
And
Am I
like, what if I'm
embarrassing myself?
embarrassed?
Am I good enough? Like, this is a consistent question, and there's a lot of no's, right? And you can't let that define you, because I can say probably 20 times that all of us have been like ripped apart emotionally. Like, you worked your ass off for something. You were there. You're ready. And like, life takes it away from you.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it's
if
just
you're scared to
part
be
of
an
it.
idiot, this is the wrong
Yeah,
business.
And you just gotta be like,
No.
fuck this. I'm better than this.
Yeah.
You stand up and you go again.
I think it's important to have humility always. And you know, Alice was saying that she was talking to her 14-year-old self, and that 14-year-old girl exists in all of us. You know, the things that I used to think were the weirdest parts about myself turned out to be the best parts about myself.
Absolutely.
The things that made me different. And in this industry, it's about difference, because in a world where everyone is seeking to be normal, to fit in, you know, this is our time to kind of stand out. And I think every one of these people have managed to do that in their own way. So I see a bright future ahead of you. So I think, just keep,
Said
just
by
keep
Nora.
on doing it.
Which is major.
Just don't let anyone
don't
define
forget
you.
your-
Like, don't put yourself in a box. Like, you know who you are and own that. I think that's so important.
There's only one you that's super important.
Just hire me.
Whenever that happens,
We're like, so are you planning to be a
remember
director,
the
a
advice
writer,
I
an
gave
actor?
so we can see what we're going for.
Well,
I feel like we're like bridesmaids on a wedding night. We're like, just
Can
own
we
it,
get
just
one more
believe in
shot? Life
yourself.
is hard.
You're a queen. Just believe in yourself.
thank you all. Thank
you,
Let's
Jen.
get a round of applause for the Paradise Hills stars and Alice. Thank you, Grace. Thanks for joining us, Grace.